And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to something a little bit different, something special. Welcome to the Cranky Ducklings, and we are here with a Cheeseadelphia Summer LAN day number 1, or the only day, really, the group stage. Oh my god, it's great to be back here again. We apologize for not covering World Team League. WTL was earlier today. I believe it's still ongoing, actually. I haven't spoiled myself. I haven't looked at the matches, but WTL is currently ongoing. Usually we do cover it. Usually we cast World Team League, but here we're live with something a little bit special, an offline LAN event in the land of the Americas, and spawning in the top left hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our American Terran player, the Red Terran representing Psystorm Gaming. It is Epic. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the American Protoss, the blue Protoss player. It is Chelseafan. And if you're in the chat, predictions should be open, so place your bets on who you think will take this first series. I apologize for the abrupt start, so we can go over the group stage, we can go over the lineup of players that we have, of course. We're a little bit biased, but of course Dolan is going to be there, he's going to be a part of the event, and we'll be covering some Dolan action later on down the line. We have players like Dolan, we have Rob, we have Creature, Disrespect, and many others. We'll go over them once we wrap up with this series, but for now, we are jumping on in. Oh, my apologies, actually. My apologies. I'll open up the predictions soon. We'll get it going. For the time being, we're getting into our openers so far. It's going to be a double gas opener here out of Epic, something a little bit more aggressive. Likewise, Chelseafan opening up with a standard opener as well. Now, as we settle into this series, Epic is one of the favorites, one of the big favorites here, one of the big names in the entire tournament. We've seen plenty of Epic in the past couple of seasons of EPT, especially EPT Americas. Epic has some killer TVZ, has some of the best TVZ out there, but as there we go, I believe predictions should now be open in the chats. To just have to fix that up. Predictions are open. But I'm curious how Chelseafan will approach this. I'm a little bit unfamiliar with Chelseafan as a player. I'm familiar with, some of the more notables like Dolan, like Epic, like Disrespect, Starkiller, but Chelseafan is more of a ladder hero from my understanding, so I'm curious how Chelseafan will approach this, as we do end up shutting down the first SCV. The bunker will not complete, so nice little pick off here from Chelseafan. Reapers moving out across the map just to be a nuisance, just to get some damage done. Bunker is going to be cancelled, and we will maintain control of the low ground. Here we go. For those that are curious, ideally, if the bunker were to finish, we can deny mining time on the low ground for as long as we can until the bunker goes down. But last it doesn't complete, the bunker is cancelled, and Epic is going to pose a bit of a threat here for the time being, but will eventually be zoned away. Behind this, we have Epic going for the CC on the low ground. Again, it was a double gas opener, so a much faster factory from the side of our Terran player into a 1-1-1 setup. So with this, we can get into drop play, we can get into double Cyclone production, get into earlier Widow Mines. For now, Cyclones are on the way, and the Reaper is posing a threat, but alas, it's going to be completely shut down. Nice pick off here from Chelseafan. Not bad. Not bad, as the Reaper is cleaned up. We can of course resume mining. We're getting into our tech of choice. Not going to be a Stargate. We're going for a Twilight Council opener into Blink Stalkers. Let's go. And if you're a little bit more native or a little bit more engrossed in the NA scene, in the NA region, I would love to know more about Chelseafan, so let me know. From all I'm aware of, they are a GM on the NA ladder. They are a GM player, but I haven't been able to really see or cast or watch too much of their games, so really this is my first introduction to Chelseafan. I'm not familiar if they're like overly cheesy, overly aggressive, more macro-oriented. I'm kind of being introduced for the first time, so I'm ready. I'm excited. Show us what you got, Pappy. Show us what you got. Let's go. Likewise, you also saw the clean feed earlier, or the feed of the player area, so I'm going to be showing that off from time to time whenever we have some downtime, or whenever we can have a gander in between matches, in between series. We'll be jumping on that. For now, we do have our initial drop across the map, going to be Marine and Widow Mine. The initial Cyclone, likewise, also being active as well. We could try to go for the Artosis Pylon here on the high ground. The Pylon looking very vulnerable. We could try to pick it off. Likewise, we could even go for the Mineral Line instead. Chelseafan, I said just Chelsea, is going to be poised right outside the natural way, so we do come across the initial Cyclone. Cyclone is forced back. We have the drop lined up to go into the main. And so far, Chelseafan is a bit out of position. We're ready here at the natural, not quite in the main base. The drop is coming in. We're going straight for the mineral line. Widowmine does borrow. We do react in time. Thankfully, we pull away. Mine shot, does not get baited out. And probes are going down. We get 2 worker kills so far. Nothing too major. Good reaction so far out of our Protoss player. Stalker's getting in position. Mine shot is baited out. And we will eventually clean this up, but not without losing 1 more Stalker. Up! Can we get it? One of us? Oh, not quite. Medevac does escape. We clean up the Widowmine at least, but alas, Epic does get out. Just barely. At the same time, third base is being taken. There's a Cyclone in position. We'll chip away at the base, but should not force a cancel. Yeah, the Stalkers, they do manage to get in position just in time. Resume mining time. And overall, Chelseafan didn't lose too much. It was 3 probes and a Stalker, but that was a lot less mine time. That was a lot of time where these workers weren't doing much. That does impact the economy. You can see here the economy swing in favor of Epic, of the Red Terran. So good damage done. Does escape with the drop, does get back home. Speaking of, back at home, we're getting into our 3-1-1. 3 axes, 1 factory, 1 starport. Pretty standard setup here by Epic. Just, you know, getting ready here for any kind of blink stalker aggression. We have our, of course, our tank in the main, tank in the natural. And we should be safe against something like a 3 or even 4 gate blink stalker build. From Chelseafan, we're just going from blink into charge. Okay, we're taking up even further. Relatively healthy gateway count with 3 gateways, another 3 on the way working towards charge. Basically, Chelseafan is building up a gateway heavy composition and is avoiding high-tech units. I'm referring to Colossus, for example, or early Immortal production. So we're going to be lacking splash damage for the time being. As Epic does continue the harass here, getting 2 more probes at the 3rd. Stalkers are active and they can catch any kind of drop play, any kind of move out. But last so far, the Raven getting some damage done. 2 probes so far. Can come in and get even more. As the Raven is kept safe and sound, we can see that we are working towards splash damage eventually with the with the Templar Archives, working towards Storm and Archon production. But here we go, Epic does move out, is spotted by Chelsea. Pick up the Cyclone. Cyclone goes down, but ideally want to force a siege, even pick up a medevac. Not bad. Medevac goes down. We barely get a second medevac as well. We snipe 2 medevacs. Snipe the Cyclone, distracting the main army and buying time for extra warpins. We recall back home and we're getting ready for the push. Shield batteries on the way, but there's going to be an overcharge. Charge going to be done as well. At the same time, Raven into the main. It is getting damage done. We get another 2 probe kills. Another 3, another 4 probe kills even. But what about the main push? What about the main army? Tanks are sieging up with the charge. They do collapse in. And the tanks are going to go down. Nice force field as well. And Chelseafan should shut down the first 2 tanks. But what about the bio army? We're slipping on forward. Nice target firing on the medevac. Medevac barely survives. And we pull back and, hey, back at the 3rd base. We have shield batteries. They're full of energy. We have the overcharge as well. Whew. Nice hold. Nice hold here by Chelseafan. Across the map, Epic is about to expand, take a 3rd base, but we have held, we have survived. Likewise, Raven is still not dealt with. We've gotten how many kills in total? 8 probe kills so far on that 1 Raven. And here comes the 2nd wave. Now, thankfully, this time, no tanks. You know, we've cut tank production at this point. It's just Marine Marauders and Widowmine. Storm, unfortunately, not quite done. It's going to be a tough hold here without Storm. Let's see if we can pull it off. I mean, we still have those shield batteries, still have potential. But, we bleed off some Zealots. Yeah, Zealots are going down. Epic with the 2nd wave, catching Chelseafan off guard. Decent mine shots here on the Zealots, and again, the Bio Army. We're looking to overwhelm, looking to snowball out of control. Overcharge is popped, it's going to buy some time. But numbers-wise, Chelseafan is just not able to keep up. We need another warp in. Yeah, we need another warp in, and alas, we just do not have it. There we go, 7 more Zealots on the way. We're barely holding on. Overcharge now on cooldown. Shield batteries are out of energy. And here comes Epic for round number 3. And Storm is finishing up in a couple of seconds, but we're not ready. We have Storm, but no energy. No energy for the High Templar. No Storms available, and without it, how can we hold on? We have 8 High Templar on the way. And force them morph into Archons. Again, Chelseafan barely holding on, barely surviving. Epic doesn't want to back off. He wants to pick up whatever he can. Decent feedbacks, but again, that means no more Storms. No Storms available. We kite down one of the Archons. Hey, these are brutal losses here for Chelseafan. we're just bleeding out too much. The problem here is that even though Epic isn't killing Chelseafan, even though he hasn't really broken the economy, like it's impressive this defense so far, but we've been trading with the army. Sniping High Templar, Archon, Stalkers. Because of that, the army here of Chelseafan has just never been able to build up. We just haven't been able to gain any momentum here with the army. And Epic is snowballing out of control. We're taking a 4th base on location. We're rallying across the map. And Chelseafan just cannot keep up. Not anymore, not with these losses. I'm loving the Zealot run by. If this can force Epic to turn back around, then maybe we can buy some time. But Epic, he doesn't care. He doesn't care, not anymore. Rallying across the map. Nice storm here on the bio. Oh my god, we just stand in it. And we have 1 storm left. The storms are good, but alas, are they going to be good enough? Yeah, EMPs do connect. That was the final storm for Chelseafan. And Epic just trading too well. Snipes 2 more Archons. Overcharge is popped. But we're being kited out of range of the overcharge. Zealots across the map. Hey, they got some damage done, but they're going to be cleaned up. We pulled away the SCVs. And it looks like Epic has finally done it. Even with these reinforcements, Epic, he should have enough. I mean, the medevacs are running out of energy at this point, but yeah, the bio army stands strong. GG gets called, and Epic will take game number 1. GG. Solid game 1 there out of Epic. What I will say, though, is that Chelseafan was able to hold his own for quite some time there. I was quite impressed, especially with the initial hold. I'm referring to the tank push. If you remember, the very first push from Epic involving 2 tanks was shut down quite nicely. Was shut down quite nicely. Oh, hold on 1 moment. Was shut down quite nicely, but when it comes to the second push, the third push, Chelseafan just didn't have enough time there to recover, to get any kind of breathing room, to be able to hold on, to be able to, again, just stabilize essentially. And with that, Epic does take the first game. It did feel like, unfortunately, even though Storm was done at a pretty reasonable time, we didn't have any High Templar ready for that either. We weren't able to warp in, gather energy, and able to hold our own. Because of that tech and that upgrade also didn't really come into play until much, much later. And here we go. We're jumping into game number 2. Epic takes a lead, and as a reminder, this is a best of 3. Best of 3 Swiss format group stage. And we'll see if we can pull it back and even force an ace match. Personally, I would love to see it back and forth, but again, our Terran player here is the favored player, is looking to make a deep run in this tournament, and we'll see if they can close it out. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our American Terran player, the Red Terran representing Psystorm Gaming. It is Epic. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, representing themselves, is down in the series, looking to bounce back, looking to force that ace match. It is a Chelseafan. Let's go. And we saw in the previous game, Epic did go for a standard opener into a bunker. This time, we sent our first SCV out across the map. There is no racks back at home because it's being thrown down across the map instead. We are opening up with a proxy. Oh boy. Oh boy, Epic looking to spice things up here in game number 2. Now, Chelseafan thankfully is going for a probe scout. With this probe scout, should confirm that we are missing the racks back at home. Should confirm that, alas, something is not quite, or it's not quite as it seems. But the problem here is that it could be a hidden racks at the natural, could be a hidden racks at the third base. It is not uncommon for Terran players to fake out a proxy, so Chelseafan has to piece this all together and has to still confirm what exactly is going on. We have a piece of the puzzle, but not the entire picture here. As the probe does confirm the Rax is not at the ramp. Is going to check further back in the main base. Meanwhile, across the map, we're just setting up. It's going to be a gate Cybercore expand. Standard opener here from Chelseafan. SCV does dip in. Reaper's on the way. And we should be looking to throw down a bunker behind the mineral line. Maybe a bunker next to the pylon. We'll see what we do decide to embrace here. Thankfully, Chelseafan is going for a safety Zealot first. Typically, we would skip the Zealot, but because we feel like something's wrong and something is awry, we're going for the initial Zealot just to make sure we're safe and sound. And And meanwhile, Epic back at home going for the factory. There it is. We're going for the eBay block here on the low ground. Zealot has arrived. And the Reaper should be able to shut down the first probe. Not a bad pickoff. The probe does fall, but with the help of this Zealot, we should be able to shut down this eBay. So Reaper does slip into the main base. We've gotten 1 probe kill so far, and can we minimize our losses? That's going to be 2 probe kills, and we're getting a 3rd. Ooh, 3 probe kills in the main. This is already becoming too much. We're getting a 4th. 4 probe kills. The Reaper is low, but with good enough control, we should not lose it. Yeah, the Reaper does stand strong, and is it looking to get a 5th worker? Yeah, we get behind the mineral line. 2nd Reaper has arrived, and we're getting out of hand here. Getting almost 5. The Adept is going to zone away these Reapers, thankfully. Adept does zone them away. Meanwhile, the Zealot was sent across the map. Okay, unfortunately, that means that the eBay is still going to be being a nuisance here, and we're stuck on 1 base. Yeah, we're going to be stuck on 1 base. We get another probe kill, and this is getting out of hand. This is just becoming far too much damage here. Soon to be game ending. That's going to be 8 probes already. 9 probes! Ay, ay, ay. We will clean this up. We will defend, yeah, we will defend, but GG gets called. Just far too much damage. Of course, the eBay on the low ground as well, and Epic will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Game 1 was more back and forth. Here in Game 2, it was a little bit bittersweet here. Again, just far too much damage dealt in the main base. Game ending, not just that, the fact that there was no expansion, the fact that there was no dealing with the eBay on the low ground either, so we were just stuck on 1 base. The economy was crippled, and Epic back at home was, yeah, just kind of sailing into his next step in towards his factory production, eventual expansion. Epic was looking solid. He was looking quite solid there. GG, well played. A rough game 2 there by Chelseafan, but a shout out to Chelseafan for game 1 especially. Didn't look too bad whatsoever, and yeah, was able to hold on in there against some more notable pro players. So GG, well played. What I will say as well is that thankfully, because of the format of the tournament, Chelseafan will have more matches ahead of him. Best of luck. And speaking of, let's take this moment to have a look at the bracket itself. Exclamation mark B. Oh, yo, I got a button for that. Hold on. Bam. Ah, there we go. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. Let's quickly head on over, and a big shout out to Tugboat SC2 for the Twitch Prime. Oh my god, Pappy, thank you so much. We do appreciate the support and do appreciate the sub. Thank you so much. Thanks to the support that we get in the chat, we're able to, you know, cast as often as we do and bring you as much StarCraft as we do as well. Thank you. When it comes to the group stage here, we have round 1, and we can have a look at the entirety here of the group stage even.